So Nick Cannon went viral for all the wrong reasons recently that made millions of users on social media believe that not only is he a horrible rapper, but he may be something even worse. And this was all thanks to a snippet that went viral. And before we get to it, we got more at the latter part of the video from Pusha T, who continues to diss his former boss Yeezy, as he went on a small rant about how he isn't a real man. And of course, this sparked split reactions on social media, as now he's got 3 huge fan bases coming for him. And today we also have one of the wildest plot twists yet when it comes to the lasting effects of the feud between Mariah Carey and Eminem. And you could say that the Mesa who dropped first-hand accounts of Mariah flying to the D for some vitamin D.
And we're flying from New York to LA, and she's like, hey, we're gonna stop off in Detroit. And I said, we? And so the next thing I know, we're at Eminem's house.
Damn.
You could say that this widened the everlasting old wounds for that fanbase like it was type 2, as now we see viral posts pop up in response to news that's got nothing to do with Eminem, and you wouldn't believe what led to the latest. And starting with Nick Cannon, who's had a total of 12 kids from 6 different mothers, like rap group D12 had 12 personas from 6 rappers. From the year 2011, Nick Cannon went on a streak: 2 in 2011, 1 in 2017, 1 in 2020, 3 in 2021, and 5 in 2022. And we got a new snippet that turned out to be a horrible look for Nick Cannon that went viral on social media hours ago.
When she got upset, she would like scream and fire would just erupt everywhere, and her hair would like...
Daughter is?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
What are their names?
I just told you.
You told me 1.
Oh, you want all 12?
12 names. Go.
All right. This is where I usually get in trouble.
Why? Because you don't know all of them.
I know all of them,
okay.
But like when you're labeled, like can you label or just rattle off 12 of anything?
Yeah.
Okay, what can you rattle 12 of?
12
Can you name
colors.
12 states right now?
They're not like, what's something personal to me that
okay, can you see exactly?
Wait a minute.
They're not like, what's something personal to me that
okay, can you see exactly? Okay, name 12, what do you have 12 of?
Well, most people don't have 12 of anything. I have $12.
Can you have 12 tattoos?
I don't even have 12 tattoos. You have more kids than I have tattoos.
Exactly. All right, well, here we go. I'll label off for you. See, let's keep me honest. There's rock, roll, golden, powerful, rise, onyx, legendary, Zion, zillion, zen, and see, this is where how many?
You're missing 2.
I'm missing 2. And then I would say...
And the fact that his rebuttal was name 12 states left users even more shook than they were by the fact that he couldn't name his 12 kids, and this went super viral. The fact that he asked her to name 12 states and she said, "That's not personal to me." His response was, "Exactly. Is he slow?" Loudly crying emoji. And Nick Cannon is a great argument in support of the American dream, and they could add the slogan, "You ain't even gotta be fast to make that dream your reality." And the question, can you name 12 of anything, is crazy, because if you know Nick Cannon through the years...
My number 1, Pop, hands down.
Okay.
My number 2, Eminem.
He sure as hell could name 12 of these.
Can you label or just rattle off 12 of anything?
Infinite, the Slim Shady LP, MMLP, The Eminem Show, Encore, Relapse, Recovery, MMLP 2, Revival, Kamikaze, Music to be Murdered By, and The Death of Slim Shady. And social media users kept going viral. Just rattle off 12 of anything. Dude, they are kids. We have school teachers who know all their kids' names, and they have a class of 30. This is why you dumbass dudes who was on some, well, he got the money to take care of them, were sounding stupid as hell. And it is even crazier that even after this video went viral, if he wanted kid number 13, he's gonna get people in line ready to take up that offer, because you know, for the right price, even virtue can be sold. And it is even more hilarious that Mariah Carey is in his lineup. It is no wonder Mariah fans are always frustrated and looking to bring up something about Eminem even when there's no correlation. And before we get to a shameless example that went viral hours ago, we got more from Pusha T's interview with the New York Times Popcast that showed the rapper go in on how Ye isn't even a real man.
It's no heartbreak because he is not a person. We ain't the same. We can't outside of music, we're nothing.
You and Kanye.
Yeah, we can't be anything outside of music. Music is where we clicked. Outside of that, his principles, his morals, his mindset, we don't see eye to eye hardly ever.
Sure.
Ever. And we never have. I've said it a lot of times. We don't.
I saw you smiling, Malice, a little bit.
Because I seen him out there. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on with him. I watch him. I watch him close. I watch him like my mom would watch him, and to know what's going on. And my brother just we come from just loyalty to a fault. If you're my friend, you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? And I just seen him in the mix of people who I don't think reciprocated. I'm talking about, through his career. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, he just looked like a lone wolf out there. You know what I'm saying? But, still holding up his principles and his ethics and standing on business the way he stands on business.
Were you wanting to call him back and say you don't have to be the lone wolf?
No, listen, it's good to be the lone wolf sometimes.
It is good
to be the lone wolf sometimes. Yeah,
everybody knows.
Yeah, it's no
they
sympathy.
Can see it.
Yeah. That's how you move out here in this world. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man, that's how you
if
move.
You're a man.
Listen, if
you're a man.
If you're a man.
Only if you're a man, though. Because if you ain't a man,
you in trouble.
You can't move like this.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta flip flop and kiss ass and do all the backbiting and
reality TV is mud wrestling. A wise man once said.
Yes, it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. Kidding me?
And boy, right now he's got Travis, Yeezy and Drake fans gunning for his neck on social media as we got popular responses like the cloud chasing this album rollout is riding on is insane, and this comeback got me rolling. This isn't cloud chasing. They are speaking on ish that happened to them. I'll rather them do this instead of suing. And in my opinion, these people are just used to rappers crashing out on social media as soon as they feel attacked today. Because to be honest, this is how rappers used to address issues in the past, in the era before social media meltdowns. Like, think about it, how Nicki Minaj's Bigfoot would have been received if she didn't choose to rant on social media beforehand. That led to a situation where all she had to say on the record was already posted on her social media accounts beforehand, and this took the sting out of the song. And if I recall, hip-hop fans all agreed in the past for the most part that they preferred if rappers took it to the booth than social media. So what changed? And they kept going at Pusha T. Ye made this man the president of his record label and made the groundbreaking decision to give him all rights to his masters and publishing. First, I will never understand. And some users are out here expanding on how Pusha T is some hypocrite for turning on Ye because of the content of his music. If people don't like what Ye says or does, that's fine. However, if those same people listen/make music about selling drugs, violence and murder, which sometimes involves kids, they cannot talk/judge. And some took this quite personal because, like I said, it is 3 huge fan bases coming for his neck right now. His principles, his morals. A 50-year-old washed-up drug dealer who still raps about coke and violence. Like, duh, of course you won't see eye to eye with a man who grew up with 2 educated parents, one of which was a Black Panther, laughing my bum off. Ye has fought the system and is free. What about you, Pusha T?
That escalated quickly.
And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this back and forth. Save your thoughts for the comment section later. And moving on to perhaps the most out of left field conversation that Eminem got dragged into somehow. And believe it or not, it started with latest reports of Cardi B's upcoming album set to release on the 19th of September. And stay with me as one thing led to another after the conversation shifted to how prior singles for the album would make it eligible for 2 times platinum on its release week. Check out the breakdown. Cardi B's Am I the Drama stats in the United States. RIAA units, WAP 11.8 million, AP 6 million, outside 50,000. Album 1.78 million, Billboard units, WAP 10 million, AP 5.5 million, outside 55,000. Album 1.55 million. So essentially, when this drops on the 19th of September, including the first week numbers, it will be eligible for 2 times platinum by the RIAA on its release week. And somehow Mariah Carey fans saw this and thought about Eminem for some reason, as this went viral. Go ahead and put Obsessed on the next album, sis, at Mariah Carey. Now there's nothing wrong with supporting your favorite artist, but being a dumbass at it isn't a good look, and here's why. Because apart from this being an admission that her new music has been flopping since 2009, these users certainly don't understand how the charts work, because in Cardi B's case, WAP, Up and Outside have been standalone singles so far, so yes, while some might find it desperate, they more than qualify to be added to her upcoming album. But in Mariah's case, Obsessed was already the lead single for her album in 2009, Memoirs of an Imperfect Angel, and the irony is that she used Eminem for that album rollout already, as Obsessed was the first single, and in 2025, they are calling for her to use Eminem for another rollout, just like they did when she released that memoir, only this time it is worse, because they want her to use the same exact song to do 2 rollouts when it doesn't even qualify, and users are shocked by this level of chart obsession combined with chart illiteracy. Obsessed was on Memoirs, y'all don't even know how to stick a joke, and more, that song was already on an album. Use singles that weren't on an album for better reference, because this anthology ain't working, and I'm blown away by the fact that people obsessed with charts still don't know some of the basic rules of how the charts work. Difference is Obsessed was already part of an album, dumbass laughing emoji, but this was a good thread based on what it represented, because after all, this is what the fan base truly believes. They already know Mariah's new album is gonna flop, but that's enough self-owns for today, as we got Nick Cannon and Mariah's fan base competing for the top spot, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.